All right, before we proceed to the next chapter, I have received some email, not many, only one or two, that you are happy with your group members. Okay, that is the common of learning. That's the another way of learning in the group. In the future, you're going to work with multinational company with multi-race of people. You're going to have a lot of problem. I hope you are able to manage those problems, right? Try to talk, right? Try to distribute the work equally. And when you have received the task, please try to complete. If you are unable to complete, please discuss back with your group members, okay, whether you like to do others part or you want to change with others people, right? So this is the way how to work in your group. That, and this is also one of the objective, right, in the teamwork, right? That's why we need to have a group members. If not, we just working alone, which you might get a good knowledge, but you will not get a good experience with working with people. Okay, I hope you understand that. Okay, for the very critical issues, I will try to solve, right? Okay, you always can come back to me, but if I see that is not critical issues, right, I just leave you to solve. Okay, so before we proceed, do you have any question? I have reviewed some of the project part 2, right? Quite good. I will leave some comment later on, right? Thank you. For the part 3, I have not viewed yet, right? Because it just due, I think last 2 hours, right? Okay, before we proceed to the next chapter, do you have any question regard project part 2 and or project part 3? Right? Or we can proceed to the next chapter. Any question from you? Okay, some question here. So can we ask for the extension? For the part 3, I'm not consider the extension because we're going to have, because we just submit. Yes, you submit part 2 because the part 2 I have extend for 2 weeks. It's supposed to be 1 week only. Right? I have extended part 2. The part 3 is just on design, right? That's why. Okay, that's why I want you to work parallelly. Any of you still do not submit for the part 3? Right, let me check. Right, let me check. Right, you have 10 submission. Okay, so it's supposed to be, if all of the group are submitted, it should be okay, but I'm not sure this is from a few group or from all of the group has submitted. Okay, I can extend. I can extend for how long you need, right? Maybe within, because this week we're going to have some class activities, 2 or 3 days. No, that's too much. Today is Wednesday. I need to review, right? If I extend, then I cannot review. I will extend until Thursday, Friday. I need to by Friday, until Friday. Okay, until Friday. Okay, Thursday night, Friday. I need to work on that, right? Because I cannot delay. I have others need to review as well. Okay, Friday morning, right? So when I come to the office, right, those who did not submit, you have been submit. So I have time to review. Okay, so I hope it's reasonable for you to work for today for 2 more days, right? One day today and tomorrow until night, right? Okay. Okay, so I hope that's all. Any other question? All right. Okay. Okay, so we're going to cover next chapter, right? Next chapter. Next chapter will be chapter number 11, okay, which is going to be your next part of your project, okay. So it will be design and effective outputs, right? So once you have implement, then you have result, how to present the result, right? So we're going to discuss in this chapter. Okay, this is the objective, right, for this chapter. You need to understand how to design the effective of the outputs. Okay, how to display the outputs. We have some dashboard, right? How to design dashboard, widget, and gadget. Okay, and some we also will cover how to design the website. Okay, web 2.0, and we also will be cover understand the development process for the apps and use on smartphone. Okay, so this is the major topic that we're going to cover. Okay, first designing the output. Okay, second output technologies. Okay, next how to make a report. Okay, how to design on the screen, how to design on the website, and how to design for the smartphone and tablet. Okay, for those who just joined, please, we are recording, so when I have upload, you can draw back the video to watch what you have missed. Okay, so we are covering again, we are covering chapter 11 for those who just joined. So next, output design objective. Okay, so what's the objective of the output design? Okay, usually is to serve a specific user or organization purpose, right? So the output may be for user, for individual, or for the organization, right? To display to their stakeholder or to their customer. Okay, so you need to provide meaningful to the user, very meaningful design or the outputs. Okay, that you have that information you have processed. Okay, so it's not a raw data that the user or the customer need to process. So you process the data and you produce to the output, right, to be displayed. For example, dashboard, right? So to see, okay, the percentage. Okay, next, to deliver the appropriate quantity of the output. So it does not mean that you need to display everything that you have. Okay, so just to display the appropriate quantity or the most significant amount of the output that you need to highlight. Okay. Okay, for example, here you have input, you process the input, then you produce the outputs right here. Okay, we have some example after this. For example, right, this is the dashboard, right, dashboard. So, for example, you want to produce some summary report or detailed report or historical report. So you can make like some with this chart, okay, or with this chart, and you have summaries of how many like or how many dislike, how many respond, how many bad respond, okay, how many people have respond, right? This is the example, some example of the report, right? So report does not mean you write a full report and show to your manager. No, they want a very short and very meaningful reports. Okay. Next factor to consider when choosing output technology. So to choose technology to use to produce the output, okay, what factor that you need to consider? Okay, first one, who will use the outputs, right? Who will need this output? How many people need the outputs, right? So this output for how many people? What's the purpose, right? As for example, for the summary or historical report, as the previous one, how frequently will be the outputs accessed, right? So the output need to be online all the time or during the meeting for the board meeting, right? So you need to consider this. How long will be output be stored, right? So as I mentioned, it used for the monthly report or for the overall budget report of the company that you need to display on the website, right? So this you need to consider. Okay. Okay, next you need to consider the output bias, right? What's the output bias? Analysts must avoid unnecessary biasing output. What you can see this graph? Any bias? Anyone can answer, right? What's the bias here in this image? Anyone can answer? Anyone can answer here? What's the bias for this image? Anyone can answer? Are you hear me? Number of no show. Yes, sir. Yes, we can hear. Yes, yes, yes. I want you to answer. Right? What's the bias here? What mean by bias? Bias output. Me display the bias output. What you can see here? What you can notice for this diagram? Any bias here, or the graph is good to be shown? The scale, right? Why the scale? Any problem with the scale? I want to know the reason why is bias or why it's not bias. Why is not good or why is good? Anyone can answer here? It does not start with zero. It does not start with zero. Somehow, not really. Does not start with zero. Big margin. Okay, good. Graph has no title. No title. Numbers. Yes, it's no title here. No, I want to see the bias here. Graph has no title. Graph increase rapidly. Increase rapidly. Not really. Not really. Any other answer? It's okay. Just try. I want to see. What's the bias here? So in the future, is what if you want to show some graph, right? Please be careful with this bias. Diagram is not a true picture. Okay, yes, somehow. Why is not true picture? Diagram is not.
Sir, what actually the vertical
Yes,
lines means? There is no direction for the vertical line.
vertical, there's no detail. Does not. You read this diagram, it does not give the true picture. Yes, it's not true picture of what the information you try to resolve.
Yes,
Okay,
sir. It
I
actually
will
don't
show.
show the actual.
I will show you the bias here. The bias here from the graph, if you see the graph number 1 and graph number 2, it shows like 50% different, right? Right? For example,
Yes, sir.
2011, 2012 is higher 50% than 2011. This you mean, right? But from the number, it does not mean 50%. It's only different for from 420 to 450 only 30, right? 20, 30, 40, 50, right? Only 30 different, right? But because, right, some of you answer because you did not display correctly, maybe you should start with the 0, right? Then you will see there is no much different from 2011 to 2012, right? But if you show in the wrong way, it will mean like 2011 and 2012, they are 50% different from you see, right? Right, without looking at this number. So please avoid this bias in presenting your output. Okay, I hope you get some idea for this. All right. Next, design output for display. Some asking about the prototype. Prototype we have covered in the previous chapter, in chapter number 6, if I'm not mistaken, right? But not detail, right? The software to use for the prototype will be discussed later on. Okay. Okay. So next, you need to keep the display simple, right? Like a good website, Facebook or Google, they always keep simple, right? And you need to keep consistent, right? The presentation or the display need to be consistent. It's not like the first page is red, second page will be blue, third page is yellow, and so far and so forth. Right? So if your main color is blue, keep it blue, right? It's like Facebook, it's like light blue, right? Or Instagram, on the pink, I'm not sure, right? Okay. Please keep it consistent and keep it simple so people can have a look for quite some time. Okay. Next, how to design dashboard, right? So the dashboard, you need to highlight the important data, right? The only important data. It's not all the data you have, you need to display here. All the important data, like for the years, right? For example, how many percentage of your stakeholder, or you can present by using graph, right? Arrange data in meaningful groups, right? So some data you might need to group, right? For example, group by age, or group by gender, or group by interest. So your data will be more interest, because when you collect data, you might have different range of age, right? Different race, right? Or different occupation, right? Or different gender, right? Group it. Keep the entire dashboard on a single screen. Yes, this is very important. So please keep your dashboard in the one screen. So when manager or your stakeholder want to view the dashboard, so it will be on the one screen. It's not like this percentage in another screen, or they need to scroll down, right? That's not a good dashboard, right? Similar to your car, right? All dashboard in the one page, so you does not need to scroll to see others important. Yes, for the detail they can refer. For example, you make a detail, if they click this, it can go into detail for this graph. If they click this, it can go into detail for this information. You can make it as that. Okay, any question? Any question? Yes, some question here. So can you please present your PowerPoint? I'm presenting the PowerPoint, right? Can you see the PowerPoint? Some asking, can you? No, I mean a full screen. Yes, I cannot present the full screen because if I present the full screen, I cannot see your comment. Right? Everything will be hidden. That's why I need to put like half of comment, right? Okay, I hope you cannot see this, right? But if you see on the phone, right, it's quite difficult. If you see, I think on the laptop or desktop, it should be no problem for this. I need to observe the question here. Okay. Any other question before we proceed? Right. For the full, I have make it a very short. For the full detail of the slide, you can download from the iTalk link, right? Okay. So next, design a website. Right? How to design a website? You can use the professional tool. What you mean by professional tools? Like they have Dreamweaver. This day they have Laravel. In the future, if you study in the next course, right, you're going to use this professional. So your website going to be in the professional looks. Right? It's not like you're developed from the notepad, right? That will be not a very good looks as a professional, right? And you also need to study other side. Let's see, for example, if you develop website for the education, right? You need to survey what is the people presenting in the website for the education website this day, right? And you need also to examine the site professional, okay, web design, okay. So this is the main thing that you need to consider in design, and there are also others detail that you need to consider. Okay, next, storyboarding, right? Storyboards, or for storyboard. What is storyboard? Storyboard could be used to show the difference between scene, right? Normally, this is example of storyboard from the scene 1 into scene 2, right? This one, if you design more on the multimedia, right? We use storyboard. Okay. For the website, we use the site navigation. This is site navigation. This is the main page. The second layer of the page, when you click here, right, you're going to the detail of the site. You click detail of the site. This is to notice the user or the customer that where are they now? Are they in the main page? Are they in the second layer? Are they in the contact? Are they in the category? Right? are they in the subcategory, right? So they will not lose. It's like we call it sitemap or the navigation of the website. Okay. All right. Next, mockup, right? Mock website. Mockup show what the output and the input will look like. Right? It's not a real website, right? But it shows what will be the view of your website. Right? For example, view on the screen laptop will be this. View on the tablet. This is view on the mobile phone. Right? It's not fully functional. Right? You can design using Adobe Photoshop to do this, right? To show, right? To show this is your site. Okay. All right. So that we call the mockup. Okay. Next, Web 2.0. Any question before we proceed? Anyone knows what is a Web 2.0? Anyone heard before? What is Web 2.0? What is Web 2.0? Okay, we have some answer here. Okay, never heard before? Never heard before. Okay. Okay. Just a short definition for Web 2.0. Okay, previously we have like on the common website just to display information, right? Okay. For this day, right? For this day, it's like 2.0, 3.0, right? So we are going for industry 4.0, more intelligent, right? But for the basic, you need to know what is different. For 2.0 is more on the enabling to gather information from user. Mean user can interact. So it's two-way communicate between the user, right? It can get some information from user. Previously, it's just to display the information, right? Okay. So we call user also like generate the content from user and collaborate with the users, right? For example, you can leave the comment, make a forum, right? Or the chatbot, or user can log in and get a detail of the user that considered 2.0. It's not like you just display the information and user just have a view or just have a look, cannot interact with your website. Okay, and in the future you're going to have 3.0, 4.0 is more intelligent. For example, this day Facebook, right, on your feed, right, they can display the news that the most suit you, right? For example, for the woman, they will display on the cosmetic ad, right? They never display, I think very late to display the on the car or superbike, right? Related information, it will just show for the male, right? So that is 3.0, 4.0 is more intelligent. They can process from what you click, like, from your comment, from your chat, it knows, right, what is your interest. Right? That is more on 3.0 intelligent website, right? Okay. So I hope you clear 2.0, right? 2.0 is like different from the 1.0 in the previous website. Okay, any question? I have some question here. Yes, okay, good. I will just get some idea here. So reason for using collaborative tools, right? The reason to use 2.0, right? Of course, the company use this tool to get opinion from the customer or from user and to get a feedback, right? So when they get feedback, they can improve their product, right? For example, if you chop to Shopee or Lazada, when you have received, they always ask you to give some feedback, right? Whether you like, or some of you before we buy, right? Normally, when I want to buy something, I always read the feedback, right? Whether this is a good product or the seller has a good manner in solving a problem, right? It also can use for that, right? So it more on trusted product or trusted the platform. For example, Lazada also you can track where is the your item, within how many days it can arrive. So make sure you have paid for the product and the product is on the way. Right? It's not like we have paid, we does not know where is the product now. Right? For the Shopee or Lazada or others, or even Post Laju these days, you can track. Or DHL, if you send to overseas, you have paid for quite expensive, but you can trace. They will give you a track number. You can trace. Right? That is a tool. That is a tool of collaborative. Right? It can user can interact. User can track. Right? It's more on trusted for the user. Right? Okay. Any question? Hope you understand that, right? Okay. Next, design for the smartphone and the tablet. Yes, again, this image, I'm using this image, right? You need to consider, right, for a variety of platform, right? Because these days people not just viewing the information on the laptop or desktop, right? Most of the time we are viewing on the handphone, right? So the display on the handphone should not totally similar or same with the website on the on on the laptop that you view, right? Because if you display everything similar or the same information on the phone, right, it will be a very small, right, very difficult for you to see, right? So on the phone, it should be minimize what is most important information of your site to be shown. Right? For the tablet, right, you can, for example, you can see more information here, right? For the phone, maybe you can see less information, right? Only one from this. Right? For tablet, it bigger, right? You can normally, if you study, if you learn in the future for the web development, right, you can customize this using CSS. We can customize, right? If from phone, it will be display this. For the tablet, it will display this. So choose appropriate, right? This is general. Choose appropriate the app name. Choose the right development process to be used, to be applied. And you need to be original, not like totally copy from others. People will see and they will start compare. Right? If you are using or copy from others, right? So that's why you need to be original. Design your own icon, right? Not just copy. You need to have, right? Because if you copy others, there are copyright issues, right? Design for a variety of device. Right? I've explained this. Okay. Next, prototyping. Right? We have covered in chapter 6, right? So for the process, prototyping is the best way to develop your app. For example, you have idea, screw, and you develop the prototype in the computer before you produce the real one. Right? There are many software for prototype, or you can develop your own prototype. Right? Okay. There are some advantages to introduce the first app. Right? So if you the first in the market, right, you will lead the market, and you have time to revise, right? Revise your app, right? Okay. Any question? A few more slides to go. Okay, how to market your apps, right? This is the general information. You need to have a large icon, for example, Instagram here. You need to have app description, right? This is common. Okay. Section explaining what news in the current version, for example, and sample set for the screenshot, right? For example, I think this is the common, right? If you go to the uh, app, you can see this description of the app, this app for what, right? And what's new for this current version. And there are some screenshot of the apps, right? When you choose, you can view the picture, you can leave some comment, right? Okay, so people will be more convenient, right? They does not need to try, install, and see, right? From this description, they can see the overview of your apps, right? So if they like it, they just download, right? All right, so this is the summary, what we have covered. We have covered the outputs, right? Output design, the objective of the output, some technologies for the outputs, okay? How to present the good outputs, right? Right, so how to design a good website, and how to design for the smartphone and tablet design, right? In general, right? Okay, in general. Any question? Any question? So we are almost 30 minutes. Any question? Any question? Any question? So again, for the part 3, I will extend until Friday morning, right? I will extend the deadline until Friday morning. So if for those who have rushed to submit this morning, if you want to review, feel free to review. You can uh, resubmit. Okay, you can resubmit, or you can delete the old one and resubmit the new one. I will extend. Okay, so no question. So majority of you said no question. Okay, so if you do not have any question, so thank you very much for joining the session. We are 36 people, right? 36 people. So the attendance I will record based on this, right? Thank you very much. So we end our class, our session by reciting Tasbih Kifarah and Surah to us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. وعشنا الإنسان لفي كسر الذين آمنوا بالصلاة وتواصوا به وتواصوا بالصبر.
Hello, sir.